Hey all, Mark Andrew here, and I'm going to give some more context to the full site editing create blocking program I've been taking part of. So here's the site I made in order to track it, and even though I have some posts up with some info, there's other than seeing the end product, there wasn't really a ton I went into about how I actually made it. So what I'd like to do is show that in real time. I'm going to post this to YouTube instead of having to clip the videos, because when I do that from here on my jetpack, it gives me some issues just because I'm on mobile with the video sizes. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start from 0 and show you exactly how I would do it. So I'm going to start from blank theme completely, and I'm going to mimic my current theme, and I'm going to use my own personal site. So this is a good use case because it is one, live, and two, just take a quick peek at what it looks like here. And if you hear some tunes, I hope it's not too loud, but this is how I usually work. Or I don't call it work, but this is how I usually create things and change things around. All right, so we pull up the dashboard and we'll just see what we're working with here for plugins. See, we've got Activity Pub, Akismet, Create Block Themes, Friends for Activity, Gutenberg. We've got the whole Jetpack suite. The login from Pressable, we've got WooCommerce going. All right. So I'm going to start with a blank theme, and I'm first going to make it look like this, hopefully, at least with the colors, give it some of the same. And then I'm going to make a variation with all white instead of the dark background. And we're going to make a new page template, and we're also going to make a new menu, and we'll save a new, template part. So let's get started. So we'll go create block theme. I'm going to create a blank theme, and I'm going to call this Mark Andrew. And here's my short description. URL is my GitHub. Author would be me. URI, go back to my WordPress for a file. We are going with, let's see, and I would fill these out and we generate. We go check out our themes, and we see our new. So I have the theme, actually, I should have mentioned that I'm using is 2023, and I used Create Block Theme already to create this theme. That's where this came from. So here is my final edition. Here's Mark Andrew I just made. So let's activate it and start from 0. And let's go check out our site. Yeah, that's definitely different, right? Not quite what we want. So first things first, I'm going to let people know, in case someone stops by right now, that I'm redesigning this. So just to let them know it's not broken. So there we go. We have our redesign, and we're here. So first thing I want to do, if I go to my dashboard, I want to add my theme fonts. So currently I'm just working with the system font, and that's cool because I'm going to use that for everything except for 2 places maybe. So I'm going to go Google Fonts, and I want a display for my headings, and I want variable fonts only, and let's just go to Conforta. Doesn't really matter what I select because it's variable. So there's my family. I'm going to download, close out. We'll go to our downloads. There it is. So let's extract. I'll get rid of the zip after we do. And now we have our variable font, which is right here. Okay. So I would normally do this after, but I'll show you exactly what I do. Now I want to go to Cloud Convert. I'm going to select my file because I want to change this Conforta to a WAF-T format. So I just uploaded that, WAF-T. Those extra files as you saw on the download, it's making sure I went through it at least up to this step so the video worked. Right. And we download our WAF-T. So let's go back to our site and we'll add a local font. We'll choose. And I know I'm going fast, but I'm still going slower than I normally do, but I want to get this in quickly. So here's our new file in our WAF-T format, and we're going to upload. All right. So now we're going to go to our site editor, and you see we have just the index template from the theme, the blank theme, and the rest is coming from WooCommerce. So we're going to go to our index because we want to go to styles and typography. We want to change our headings to the new font we just put in, and I want that to be bold. And it's going to give me an error because I have Gutenberg active. So normally this is what I would do, copy an error. I'd share it to Simple Note, and there we go. Same as always. So what I'm going to do for right this second, because I don't need Gutenberg to do what I'm doing. So you can, instead of getting all those error messages, we are just going to deactivate. Let's go back to the site editor. Now we should be able to interesting. Same error. Okay, well this is what we're here for, right? To see what goes on. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with it then. So we do have the font in like we want though, so that's awesome. So that's a start. All right. So for text, I want system font. Links, I want system font. I would change those to bold usually. I'm not going to hit the button because it'll kick me out. There we go. And normally I would change this as well. This should kick me out too. Let's see though. Yep. So change my padding. I've got my new fonts in. Yeah, I'll show you this way, right? So I go to colors and I want to add my color palette. So I can add a color, but as you see, it pops up to the side, or maybe as you can't see. So we'll go to desktop. So I already saved my color palette to my clipboard. So now we can go to our colors, and now we can add colors. So this will be our base color. That's the other thing, copying those errors, as you see, to the clipboard multiplies them. I'm not quite sure why it does that, but so that actually kicked out my other colors. So I'll show you how I got my colors to the clipboard then. Let's go. All right, so here is our background color. We'll copy that. Primary, secondary, tertiary, contrast. All right, so now let's go back and let's put in, so there's our base color. Let's add another. Primary. Well, that's an issue that, there we go. Secondary. And shouldn't have copied the hashtag from Canva apparently, right? Tertiary. And finally, we will throw in contrast. All right. Now we have our color palette. So let's go back. Let's make our background the dark color. We're going to make our text the blue. Links are going to be in pink. Captions will be that off-white. Buttons. Yeah, let's go pink background, dark text. Heading, I might change this later if I have too much pink. So there we go. So I've got my colors in, I've got my fonts in. I would have changed my layout if it would let me, because I would have put, I want to make this one larger because of the header I'm doing. So now I go down to my blocks. It might not let me do this either, but I want to give some more padding and margin to my paragraphs. So on the paragraph margin at the top, it's not going to let me. Not going to let me. Lets me hit that button. Interesting. So let's go to colors. I think I can all, yeah. It's just the text, changing the padding and things like that. So let's check real quick if we can take off Gutenberg and if that changes it, if we do it on the block level. So we'll deactivate Gutenberg again. Let's deactivate create block theme. Let's go back. Go back to our block again, back to our paragraph, our layout, and I'll zoom in so you can see. Alright, so we can pull up the submenu. Alright, look at that. So we can mess with the margin now. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to turn Gutenberg back on because I took off Create Block Theme 2, and last time that didn't work. So let's activate this one. And now let's see what happens. Wish there was a quicker way to get here, that's for sure. So now we have Gutenberg active again. Let's play with the layout. Okay, so it is Gutenberg. Alright, well let's keep it plugged in. That's what we're here for, right? See how far we can get. So we've got our text in, we've got our colors in, and that looks pretty good. That's what we wanted to start with. So what I want now is a new template. And as you see, I can't get there from here. If I zoomed out, now I am at the Manage All template, shows up. Zoom in, it doesn't. It goes away. So what I usually do is I go from here, and I just tap index because it's quicker, and I'm here. So I want to add new, I want to add a front page, and if you see if I click here, I don't see anything happening, but if I zoom in on the templates, see the text overlay there, the white on the black. So let's zoom out and see what's happening, which is this. All right, so I want a new front page, and I'm going to start blank. So we're going to go with group, and I have to drop the keyboard in order for it to appear. And on here, we're going to put a row, and actually we're going to take 2 rows. I'm going to go to the parent block. As you see, there's no menu at the top here until I tap it, like that. So let's zoom back in. And as you see, the menu staying until we reload. Awesome. All right, so now I'm on that group block. So that just kicked me. I don't know why. Shouldn't have put a paragraph. Tapping above, tapping back, it's not working. That worked. All right, let's go back to our group block. See, this menu doesn't go away. I wish that did. But we'll go to our settings for our group block. Let's just get back to actually building it, hopefully. And for our padding, we want the bottom padding to be big. It's going to be our large header. All right. So now I'm going to go back up to that row. If you see, if I tap to the right, it'll select the row. If I tap to the left, it would have tried to pull up what I'm adding to the row. So I'm back up to this row. And I'm going to put some padding here as well. And we're going to go with bottom padding here. And I actually I'm going to do M on the bottom. We're going to go 0.03. And you'll see why when this is done. And then in row 1, we are going to do our site tagline. One more push. Right. Let's go back to our row. And now I want a group. And on this group, we are going to go for the padding. I'm going to pick M again. And we're going to go 0.04. So what this is going to do is it's going to push this navigation below the top line. All right. So let's go right here. Put some space between the items. All right. And let's go to row 2. And for the padding here, we want all the way up. We're just going to drop everything down, as you see. And then we're going to do our, oops, can I spell? I guess not. We're going to do our site title. And we want it huge, like that. All right. And let's jump all the way back up again. And actually, we're going to throw, I'm going to touch that in a little bit. Awesome. So we have that all done. Now let's make it a template part. And we're going to call this our opinionated header. And it's going to be a header, and let's create it. And that menu is still there, as you see. I guess, I don't know if that's intentional that it never goes away, but once I hit the button, I don't need to hit the other one usually right after it. Okay? So now let's go back out and check out our template parts. And you see now we have an opinionated header. Sweet, right? So I'm going to go back to my site and see what we have. And we have our opinionated header because we made the front page index. I'm sorry, made a front page template. The only thing we had was the index, right? So if I go back, here's my front page. So I have that opinionated header, and we're going to zoom out so we can use the list view. All right. And after this, I'm going to put a group block in. And in the group block, we are going to throw some post content. All right. Let's see what our settings are on this.